What's up, guys? Tastes and Artosis here at the GSL. We're still in the round of 32. We've had some epic games, innovation, unbelievably good yesterday, Artosis. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really well. I'm happy with how ridiculously good these games have been so far. And today's group should be no different.
Yeah.
We have Flash playing today.
Flash, okay, so if you're not familiar with old school esports, because I know we got a lot of new viewers here with Heart of the Swarm, Flash was the greatest
Video game player
basically to date in a game that was seasoned. You know, you get games like Counter-Strike 1.6, Starcraft 1, Quake, stuff like that. These are games that were around for a decade.
Yeah.
Flash was the greatest Brood War player ever. Now,
Yes.
he didn't switch over to StarCraft 2 immediately because, let's face it, if you're the best Brood War player in the whole world, you're going to wait until that game retires itself to eke out as many wins as possible.
Yeah.
Now he's here in StarCraft 2. He's phenomenal. He's not quite the Flash that we've seen in StarCraft 1, despite how good he is. And if you followed any StarCraft 1, you know what I'm talking about.
No one is yet, because
Nobody
in StarCraft 1 he was perfect. And to throw this out there, the highest skill level ever achieved in video games so far still goes to StarCraft 1. StarCraft 2 hasn't passed there yet. Absolutely not.
Of course. No, StarCraft 1 was...
And no other game has ever come anywhere
And
near
part of that's because it was around for a decade with the infrastructure.
Yeah,
StarCraft 1 actually
the infrastructure.
had the best. Obviously StarCraft 2 now has almost a superior infrastructure, but we haven't spent enough time with that. But,
exactly.
You get a game that's been around for a decade where people have been studying it nonstop. Even look at the Brood War foreign scene. That was huge.
Yeah.
Massive amount of tournaments, not a lot of money, which is why we weren't that rich as pro gamers. But
not so much.
Now he's here in StarCraft 2. So, one of the things I'm asking myself is Flash going to be the same Flash in a year or two, maybe even today, I don't know, that he was in Brood War? We're going to see.
Well, you know what? He's already shown a ton of skill. He's getting deep in tournaments, and he's almost there. And he's going to be there because, when you hit that type of skill level, it translates, right?
Of course.
Very well.
Brood War and StarCraft 2 are incredibly similar. There are certain skill sets that were stronger in one and not in the other, or certain facets that were different in one part than in the other. But, yeah, it translates is what's important.
Yeah.
And so we're all still learning Heart of the Swarm. Okay, Brood War was developing until the very end. It just as StarCraft 2 is going to continue to do. So, yeah, we got to see, is Flash going to do it? With innovation yesterday, at this point in time, he's the best RTS player I've ever seen.
Yeah,
in StarCraft 2.
For StarCraft 2, absolutely.
I'm just like, oh, God, okay, you're on a completely different level than everybody else.
Think we're going to see something very similar from Flash, where we're just like, what? Oh, my God, so good.
But at the same time, he has been playing as long as, the other players, the ESF players.
That is true.
And I want to clarify something, because I had somebody tweet this at me, and I realized we never really explained this. What the ESF players and the KESPA players, think of it like this. All people that we refer to as KESPA players are the players that didn't switch over to StarCraft 2 immediately.
Yes.
The ESF players are the ones that, during the beta, right when the release of the Wings of Liberty, were playing.
Yeah, and to be fair, a huge chunk of those were in KESPA, but left to play StarCraft 2.
They were in KESPA, but then broke off from that to then play StarCraft 2. And KESPA was basically in control of all the StarCraft 1 players. StarCraft 1, not an active esport anymore.
Yeah.
So now they're here in StarCraft 2. So the KESPA training regimen was a little bit... I would say probably a little bit superior to what the ESF players
I think there's not much question.
Yeah.
It's much more structured, more rigid, more time put in overall, bigger staffs. These are well-funded teams as opposed to all startup teams from ESF. And still, they definitely do have that better structure. But I'm sure the ESF teams are coming around and being like, well, it's time to do it like KESPA.
Exactly. So we got one group of guys that's a little bit newer to StarCraft 2, but had a more structured training regimen. And part of it's just ESF is just very new with StarCraft, with esports, I should say, in general, not StarCraft 2. So, yeah, we've seen a lot of KESPA players knocking out some of the ESF players.
Yep.
And it's going to be interesting to see what is going to happen when we get done with this tournament. Are we going to have 4 KESPA players in the Final Four? Are the KESPA players Or is it going to be half ESF, half Kespa? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say, and the brackets are really going to factor into that as well.
Sure,
but
yeah.
tonight is kind of cool because, you know, we have 2 Kespa and 2 ESF. We have Boom Boom and Maru representing ESF, and then, of course, Soulkey and Flash from Kespa. But definitely Soulkey and Flash are towards the high end of the Kespa players, whereas Maru and Boom Boom, very good, very talented players, but you don't consider them, like, both within necessarily the top 10
I would think of them
ESF
the way
players.
that we thought of Keen last year.
Yeah, they're like
there's
okay,
Keen.
they can be Kodas.
Keen's really good.
Yeah.
I think Keen's leveled up since then. But
Certainly.
yeah.
And to be fair, Boom Boom really surprised us a lot last season, and Maru is looking superb. He's very young, Tasteless. In fact, even younger than Life. So
Yeah,
and he's been around in
young.
StarCraft 2 a very long time.
Was
so.
he started pro gaming at 12?
Something like that,
Something
13
like that.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievably young, but that just means he's going to be one of the best if he keeps it up.
Let's go and take a look at the player interview and see what our guys are thinking before they go into their match.
도발 아닌 도발인데 영호가 그냥 보였어요. 잔할 때 한번 이긴 경험이 있어서 아무래도 자신감이 조금
웅진 스타즈 솔키
김민철 선수한테는 대회 날개트 한번 졌는데 본심이라서 다시 하면 이길 수 있을 것 같아요. 저는 젊거든요.
마루 프라임
최준혁 선수 저보다 GSL 먼저 올라오고 원래 잘 하시지만 이번에는 제가 이기도록 하겠습니다. 스타트 처음 우승을 GSL에서 할 수 있도록 꼭 이번에 남다른 각오로 임해서 차지하도록 하겠습니다.
KT 롤스터 플래시
뭐 언젠간 좀 만나보고 싶었는데 기회가 오게 돼서 되게 기뻐요. 잘하는 선수건 유명한 선수건 절대 주눅들지 않고 재밌게 할 수 있는 것 같아요.
아주부 뽕뽕 2013 WCS Korea Season 1 MANGOSIX GSL Code S Round 32 Group H.
All right, sick.
Sick indeed.
Now, let's be honest
Almost
here.
a city of sickness.
Indeed. Soulkey over here.
Great
This
player.
guy's fantastic. I actually said hi to him in the restroom
Yeah.
where we came in to get makeup on.
Urinals or sink? Sink
It
urinal?
was a urinal greeting.
Next to, one away?
Next to.
Next to. Just a brief look over and a head nod is with
And,
hello.
say, basically, hey, how you doing?
No prolonged eye contact?
No.
Okay. Good etiquette. Thank you,
Good
Faceless.
etiquette. No problem. No problem. Standard 3 shakes, then I'm done. Back into the, do a quick wash my hands, use the soap. Don't be one of those guys that just puts water
Wets
in
his
hands.
Just turns on the
You know what's
faucet so
actually-
people think you wash your hands and walks out.
I'm amazed how often I see this in public restrooms where people will just pour water in their hands. You know, do you want to know why that's really stupid? Because germs are going to stay on wet hands better than dry hands. So if you're listening to this, and I know most of our audience is male, wash your hands or don't wash your hands. Pick a side, man.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Don't dilly-dally.
when somebody shakes their hand and it's wet and they go, oh, don't worry, I just washed my hands, that means you're going to get all the germs on their hands.
Yeah, smell the hands. If it smells like soap, good to go. If not, go wash your hands.
Yeah. No, but even if it smells like soap, you need to dry it.
Oh,
That's
okay.
part of the cleaning process.
That is part of the cleaning
Otherwise,
process.
they proceed with their wet hands to touch the doorknob of the bathroom and pick up all the germs from
Oh,
the
not
doorknob of
me.
the bathroom.
I pull my hand into my sleeve to do that.
You don't do that. Whatever, Artosis. Nice try. Trying to sound like you're OCD to the rest of the world. You're not fooling anybody, dude.
Oh, my.
I know you're a dirt nerd.
I'm a dirt
You're a dirt nerd. You might even be a mud nerd. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's so
Please.
funny.
I saw what your apartment looked like before you were married. It looks like what mine looks like now.
That is true.
All right. Our map is going to be DF Atlas. Maru is our young prodigy of our group here.
Yeah. Very
Actually, hold on a second. How old is Soulkey? I don't know his age.
Soulkey's definitely older than Maru. I don't know his exact age, but he's a normal age for a pro gamer. So I would say maybe
19.
I would guess
18.
I think he's probably about 20. That's my guess
20?
because he's
Okay.
been around in StarCraft for a while. So yeah, that's I guess around 20.
All right, so Maru's still the baby of our group.
Yeah.
So we're going right into this.
I think he's the youngest player in GSL, actually, Kodes.
Yeah, he is.
Pretty
That
sure.
is true. And then Life, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong there. I think and then Creator or something. Creator's really young.
Yeah, he's
He went through a growth spurt, though. He is so tall.
No, I know.
He's as tall as a tree that's exactly 6'1".
Wow. That's one short tree.
It could be a tall tree if it's like a bonsai tree.
That's true.
It's
All right.
a really tall
I'm
tree.
showing
Tasteless.
tree bias here. All right. So let's get ready to go into this match. We're still in the round of 32. We're going to see who's going to move on to the round of 16 here. Chapter 1 starts here for today's GSL Code S group. In the upper left, we have our Zerg player, Akespa Zerg. He is
웅진 스타즈 Soulkey.
And in the bottom right, we have our Terran player, very young but very deadly. He is
Maru Prime.
All right, Tasteless.
all right. Tosis.
I want to know. Okay, so
Talk to me, Artie.
we have Soulkey versus Maru, then
Yep.
Flash versus Boom Boom. Who from these two do you think is going to win?
I have no idea with these two.
Really? Yeah, this one is. I think this is the hardest match to predict in the group right here.
I think so.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that.
This is actually
What are we
a
looking
great
at?
shot right now.
Oh my God, is there a truck down there? How do you
think
get
so.
there?
There's a chick dancing up there.
Where?
Look at there, man. The
Oh, yeah.
hologram.
Look at
Oh,
that.
we got to go to this place. She's hot
Sick.
too. Look at that.
That's.
Scanty clad clothing too.
I was looking at the nitro prices.
That's where my overlord goes. I scout on this map. I just hover over there.
It's a very important area.
Yeah, man.
Dropship might go through there at some point.
That's right.
All right. Why is the APM of Tasteless falling so low?
What's going on? Is he just playing with his mouse?
All right. So.
This is Tastosis Forever High School.
That's right. So, okay.
You know what I forget actually is
Yeah.
that the Korean stream has a different observer than us.
Yes.
So in the audience, which I don't think we have a ton of foreigners.
We actually have a screen for the English broadcast,
Oh, that's
too.
true. I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Okay, so I was thinking like people must be wondering what the hell we're talking about.
It wouldn't be as fun, though, to watch that little screen. I would definitely, if I was listening to us, as I should be, you guys are great, I would be looking at the big screen, which I think they are. Yeah, no one turned around. They're looking at that big screen. Or they're not listening to us.
They might just be moving their eyes. One guy is, he raised his hand. All right. We got the standard opening so far.
Well, from Maru, he is going for the quicker factory with reactors, so probably going to go Hellion into 2 command centers as opposed to command center, Hellion command center.
Yeah.
So a little bit more aggressive with his. Definitely going to give him some earlier map control. Kind of surprised to see that. It's not quite as economical. That may mean, oh my God, never mind. He's not making a command center right away. Tasteless, he just threw down a starport.
And guys, this is not going to be as normal as I said it was going to be.
No. Well, the Zerg one is pretty normal.
The Zerg one is orthodox.
Yeah.
So what is he going to go for a Hellion drop here?
It does look like it. There is the possibility he'll go for some sort of Hellbats as well, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be a Hellion drop. You know, he hasn't started an armory, so now I know it's going to be...
Yep.
Well, you know, Hellion drop, he's going to have to do some damage with it.
I haven't encountered this build in a long time. And I haven't played Terran in a long time, but do people ever still do that the proxy Thor with a bunch of SCVs all in with there?
No.
Is that just out of the metagame right now, or is that just like
it's
proven
gone?
moot?
Yeah, it's proven to actually not be that good.
Because I was just thinking about it, and I thought I haven't played Terran to mess with that build, but I haven't encountered it either. Oh! That was wicked.
That was like when you're getting off an elevator and someone else is getting on, you keep on stepping to the same side over and over. So awkward, but that was a good type of awkward for Soulkey.
No kidding. That was like the bouncers to the club just not letting you in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like amazingly good. Oh my God. Well, Maru going up for the drop now, or at least attempting to. Chasing some Lings back.
He's going to mask this by bringing out 2 Hellions in the front to make it look like he just went to 2 and probably is making a command center. But in fact, medevac boost, he's headed into the main. It looks like Zerg is privy to this.
Yeah. And it's so easy to hold off when his Lings are already there.
Yeah.
A nice little redrop there, but he has plenty of Lings on the way. Don't expect this to do too much damage.
All right, he's hitting these drones. Yeah, it's mostly Hellions versus Zergleys at this point in time. And notice he's actually hitting the medevac here, which is a smart move to do.
Yep, he's going to boost that medevac out of there, though. Does not want to lose it.
No.
No, not quite. Not quite. A good try by Maru, but he's definitely going to be unhappy with how that went. Because right now,
well,
Soulkey is in a great spot, really.
Ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, when you invest in a drop like that early on, and you're just not you're not doing the damage you need to do, you're going to be behind automatically.
Well, with the armor on the way, it looks like he wants to start doing some Hellbat drops. We've seen that this is occurring every now and then, where players are going and following up some early harassment with Hellbats, and it definitely can work. But with Soulkey already having a Spore Crawler and already having really good map awareness during that last drop, I don't know if these are going to work out that well.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I do like the follow-up biking to clean up Overlords. It's one way to catch up a little bit here.
Oh, definitely. And he's going to need to do that, because if he wants to drop Hellbats and you see that medevac coming, you're going to be in position.
Yeah, for sure. Says, do not enter. Was this a mistake, Hellions?
Then he exited through the other one.
Oh no, they're parking on that sign that says wet paint.
Then you just see Hellion tracks, and Zerglings just follow them to where they're hiding.
Right. All right. Rock's been taken out. Looks like we're going to have a Hellbat drop now.
Hellbat and Hellion drop. The 2 ancient foes work together, Tasteless.
Oh, wow, he got the Lings in.
Yeah, that was actually pretty sweet.
I was kind of surprised by that.
Well, in the meantime, there is going to be a drop going on pretty quickly here. And with those Hellbats going down, as well as some Hellions, the Zerglings are cleaned up in a matter of seconds. Very well done so far, and the Queens are not going to be enough to do this alone.
Yeah, he's going to keep pushing forward. He's got to be careful. He's going to lose those medevacs.
And he has to decide, what does he target here? Does he go for medevacs? Does he go for Hellions? Does he go for Hellbats, which can be healed? It's a hard choice.
Yeah.
And then he surrounds everything with Lings, and everything's okay.
Well, nice angle, though, there with that Hellbat. Damn. Getting his money's worth there.
And look at that. He's only killed off 4 drones. So far, all he's really done is for some lost mining time, a few drones, a lot of Lings he's killed off, which is kind of nice. But again, Soulkey's defense is superior so far to Maru's aggression.
And this is one of the things you got to be careful with drops is just because you're getting there and doing some damage doesn't mean it's paying for itself. And if you do a bunch of drops and lose the medevacs and don't kill workers, you're just getting yourself behind. Which I think we're starting to see Maru do a little bit of now.
Well, 2 more medevacs coming in. They're going to hit an expansion that has almost no drones at it. Not even worth really dropping them there. In fact, going for the Queen instead. High energy Queen being taken out. A good little victory there for Maru.
All right, he picks up again. And is now going to... Nope, the drones are being pulled out now. Let's see if he can do it again in the main over here.
Yeah, and look at that. Brings down those Hellbats again, making a lot of lost mining time now. And, in fact, starting to kill some drones in that main base as well. The Spire is on the way, as those Hellbats see, but still a ways off.
Yeah. Doing a lot of damage to those drones over there. And now the Roaches are coming up.
And, well, the medevac's continuing to fly around a little bit, but I don't think this is going to last too much longer now.
And now dropping again over here.
Yeah, and it will be taken out. But let's take a look. How many drones has he actually killed now? Wow, he jumped up 18 more drone kills during that, Tasteless. That's actually pretty big. That was more than I thought he got.
And the drones are now pulling up. with some of these drops, he actually might be able to do a ton of damage.
Yeah.
Now the Thors are going to take care of the Roaches, no problem. This attack up here at the front.
A couple more Hellbat drops going down. In the meantime, that Roach attack is occurring. And yeah, it looks like the Roach is more than enough to deal with it.
Yeah. So takes that out with ease.
Another drop down at the third base going on. You know, with his Roaches across the map, he's not able to do much. This is kind
the
of
drops are starting to snowball here.
Yeah, this is really this is persistence really from Maru. Those first several drops did very, very little aside from annoy his opponent, but he just has kept on going.
Yeah.
And it's really paid off at this point.
Yeah. All right, the Roaches are now backing out. And it looks like, I don't know, there's going to be a little bit of a quiet before the storm here.
Yeah, it does look like that. Neither player really has the army to attack each other. Of course, he just threw away a bunch of Roaches, so that's going to be hard. And, during all the harassment, we didn't get to actually say it, but Maru's going for mech, something that's really not that popular in the current metagame against Zerg.
Yeah, that is very true.
But after killing that many drones, really does Soulkey have the economy needed to deal with this?
We're going to see, one thing about mech that's going to be interesting here is we haven't really seen Thors combined with Hellbats that much yet. And what does that actually do against the Zerg?
Yeah. If it gets to a big economy game, you're likely to see a lot of Swarm hosts against mech. And, while tanks will counter that for a bit.
Sense.
Yeah. Tanks will counter that for a bit, but when you get to a certain number, it becomes like a critical mass where even siege tanks with their great splash damage and great range will not counter that.
I feel like Swarm hosts are like the Zerg version of mech.
Kind
in a
of,
way,
yeah.
where it's
Ooh.
like, yeah, I think I actually just...
That was good.
I think I just dropped a serious knowledge bomb here.
I think you may have.
Because, the way that you handle mech is to not really engage it, but drop in their base, and you try to out-expand them and be more places at once. I feel like that's the same thing with Swarm hosts. When I encounter Swarm hosts on the ladder, I oftentimes just, drop them, or, I'll avoid...
No, you have to avoid them. If you fight them head-on, you have to overwhelm them that time.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a Hydralisk Den as well as Infestation Pit on the way. The Hydralisk Den is kind of interesting. I'd love to see him try to utilize some Hydras here, but I think the Infestation Pit definitely more important, both for the Hive Tech and, of course, those very important Storm hosts.
It looks like we got a command center about to finish here. I do like that Overlord, by the way, that expansion dropping creep. It's these little things that can really start to add up.
Yeah, that will slow him down.
Yeah, absolutely. A few scans over. What was kind of a...
He's trying to figure out exactly what's going on, where the army is, what tech there is, because with mech, you have to hit very strict timings, or Zerg will be able to get exactly what they need.
He actually got the 2 Hellbats out. Well, this drop shouldn't do too much damage. It looks like the drones have been evacuated successfully.
And I think he did see that Hive start up. Now this attack is coming. Where is his anti... Okay, yeah, no, he has some Thors in there. So... with this attack, he's going to have to get something done right now, because eventually Soulkey will be able to get into units that are going to do very well against this, but does he have enough right now?
Yeah, we're going to see supply 164 for the Zerg, 188 here for the Terran, so I think Soulkey could be in some trouble, but a lot of it's about if he catches him in siege mode or not.
And look at this, a beautiful flank coming down. Those Hellbats in the front holding their own, while the siege tanks decimate the Roaches in the back.
There's too much mech right now. I think he's going to lose his base.
Yeah, he very well
just needs to get those siege tanks up there. And round number 2 is in the mail as well, and they're going to be able to meet up. He's probably, if he gets this base, going to get the Zerg base that's in development below it.
Yeah, this is getting really rough with Soulkey very low on a bank and only making Roaches right now. He doesn't have a lot of options.
All right, he's going to push up now, and I think this might actually be too hard to stop. We're going to see. Well, siege tanks not in siege mode, but still doing more than enough damage.
Yeah, the flank doing an okay job, but really he has not picked off everything. There's still the core of this, which is 3 Thors and some siege tanks.
Yeah, just too much.
Well done. Cool to see mech being used here at such a high level. Good little timings. The Hellbat play was rather surprising, I find it, with how well he actually killed so many drones after having so many drops deflected at minimal losses to Soulkey.
Well, it just started to stack up a little bit. You know, this is one of these things we see with these prime Terrans, especially. They're just really good at juggling just enough tasks. They're like micro Gumihos.
Micro
like mini Gumihos.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take that.
Oh, you take that, yeah.
Well, Soulkey now has to be kind of scratching his head, even though we can see he's not scratching his head. Metaphorically speaking, at least inside his head, he's imagining himself sitting there scratching his head.
He's proverbially scratching his proverbial head right now.
Yes.
So our map's going to be Whirlwind. This is really no shocker. I think I've lost track of a time when a Zerg didn't pick Whirlwind after he lost the game.
And if he didn't, it was probably just
map
Daybreak.
number 1, yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is common. If you watch the show, you hear us say this all the time. Zergs like big maps. They have more room to expand.
That takes longer for Terran to get over there. There's more bases to take. There's a lot of different factors to it. Now, will Maru actually play with mech again? Will he go for Hellbat drops again? Of course, you could theoretically go from Hellbat drops into bio, even though that's a little bit cheeky, I would say.
Cheeky?
Yeah. But his macro, his multitasking is good enough that he can go bio.
Was this proper usage of the word cheeky?
Yeah. I would definitely say opening up with one factory Hellion drop into Hellbat drops into bio play, I would say that's cheeky.
That's cheeky. Let us know if you think that's proper usage of the word cheeky on Twitter. Call me Tasty Artosis. And we're here at the GSL Code S, bringing you the best StarCraft 2 action in the world.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. Make no mistake. In the upper